Welcome back to the Mouse and Men, where we explore the grown-up side of Disney. Find us online at themouseandmen.com, on social media at the Mouse and Men. I am your host, Bradley. Come back to you with another episode in preparing for our Disney trip as a family of four, plus some other family going along with us. Um, we're heading out in a couple months, and it's a great time to come back to the Mouse and Men. Part of exploring the grown-up side of Disney is going back with kids, um, and trying to give them the best experience possible. So that's what we're going to be talking about today, is partly just getting kids ready. If you're kind of building up the hype. So let's jump into it. Um, by the way, anybody else have an opinionated 5-year-old? Okay, so it's not just me. Um, Trying to get kids to try new things can be difficult. That's a Bluey reference. And if you're a parent, you haven't seen Bluey, I give you permission to pause this podcast and go binge Bluey right now. Um, but trying to get kids to try new things, I'm using Disney to help with that. Little background. My kids were born when most of the world was still practicing social distancing. I mean, we were, but, uh, we were locked down for much of my kids' early life. Um, we didn't go out to eat. We didn't have pre-made food delivered to the house much either. To be honest, I'd rather eat at home in my sweatpants most of the time, than rather than go out anyways. Um, but when we go to the parks, my family won't have all the creature comforts of home. And that can be hard on little ones who are used to having food prepared in certain ways. So how am I getting my kids to branch out? I'll tell you. Food wise, I had the conversation with my kids the other day. I said, "Hey, when when we go to Disney, we're not going to have all the same foods that we eat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner um, available to us. It'll be a little bit different. We can get spaghetti, but it may not look like the spaghetti that we eat at home, which for one of my kids means sauce on one side, noodles on the other. Don't let them touch." Now, I will say this too. Disney's pretty fantastic about taking care of special requests. So they can accommodate a little bit, but I'm using this to help my kids branch out a little bit. So I told them, I said, you know, it you're not always going to be able to get the same things you want. So I said, but you can get peanut butter and jelly. And I've got a kid who, for the first few years, had a peanut allergy. And we had to get this special peanut butter. And I'm sorry, buddy, it was awful. It was really awful. It was dry. It was gritty. Um, it just, it wasn't good. But he loved peanut butter sandwiches. Funny thing is, once he was no longer allergic to peanuts, he grew out of that allergy. He no longer wanted to try a real peanut butter sandwich. So I said, hey, something we can get at the parks is a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. It's one of my favorite things. Honestly, I'd eat a peanut butter and jelly sandwich every day if I could. He said, what does jelly taste like? And I said, tastes like strawberries. He, by the way, loves strawberries. Both of them love strawberries. And he's like, okay, I'll try it. And so I made him a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I said, how do you want it cut? You want it cut in squares or triangles? Ooh, triangles. So got him a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, cut it into triangles. I think he took one bite. It was like, I like it. Didn't want to touch it. He ended up eating, I think. a good portion of it. Um, it it's one of those things. I'm not gonna force him to eat it, but he wants Doritos. Okay, buddy, you can have some Doritos, but I need you to take 3 bites. Um, so ended up getting him to eat quite a bit of peanut butter and jelly sandwich. He said the jelly was my favorite part. Oh, well, guess what? Um, we can make toast, which you love, and put jelly on it, and it's awesome. That one didn't go over as well. Um, Tried that this morning, and he didn't love the jelly toast as much as I hoped. Um, but that's one thing. We're going to be trying some other things, um, and so I'm. But just the idea of ooh, they serve something like this at Disney. I mean, he can't quite connect all the dots and do the research and figure out if I'm lying or not yet. Um, but it, so far it's working. It's getting him to try a couple things. So very proud of him for that. We'll be trying, um, I think corn dogs are going to be up soon. Honestly, as a kid, I wasn't a huge fan of corn dogs either. I'd pull off all the cornbread and just eat the hot dog. Um, Funny enough, my wife and I were talking about this the other day. She was the opposite. She just eat the cornbread and leave the hot dog. So I think we were a match made in heaven long ago. But corn dogs, we're gonna try. Um, they love turkey. Um, so, but it's sliced turkey, and we split a turkey leg last time we went. I think I talked about that, and oh my goodness, I love those turkey legs. There are people who don't like them. They're huge. If I remember correctly, it's like $20 for a turkey leg. But the four of us split a turkey leg, and I think there was still some left. Um, so that will be on the menu when we go back. But it's I'm trying to use it to my advantage to get them to try some new things, both just in general, but also specifically for going to Disney World because my kids like eating the same few things, and we can take some of this stuff, especially breakfast things, and keep them in the hotel room. But um, when we're in the parks, it's going to be tougher. You can take snacks. You can bring food into the parks. That's totally fine. It's just a hassle trying to keep stuff from melting, trying to keep things cool if need be, uh, keep them the right temperature, all that. I'd rather just eat there. Also, um, I think I've mentioned this before. When we go, we can often split several things. A lot of times we'll split a meal and get a snack in the afternoon or bring snacks. Um, Popcorn bucket. I know I've preached about that because I wanted to try it this last time. Did loved it, and we'll be doing popcorn bucket again. That was also something that my kids in had popcorn. They enjoyed it, but there was a new love for popcorn after our last trip a couple years ago. Um, so, do you use Disney to try to get your kids to try new things? Let me know. Another thing that we're trying is my kids, 2 boys, love cars. We watch cars all the time. I needed to start branching them out into other movies. They've watched Bug's Life. They've watched Bolt. Um, for whatever reason, they don't take 201 Dalmatians as much. Um, but I wanted to encourage them to watch a few other movies just to branch out, but also prepare for the parks. And I said, hey, you know, this this movie is in the parks, and so that's gotten them to watch a couple. What we've been trying lately, well, one that we tried a couple months ago, maybe 6 weeks ago. Beauty and the Beast. Um, I don't know what made me think to try it, but oh man, my oldest loves this movie. Um, it's it's funny. He really likes that the people were turned into different things around the castle. Um, so Beauty and the Beast, that was a win. Um, I've also tried The Princess and the Frog, and my oldest was like, "No, no, I don't want to watch this." A few minutes later, he's got his face inches from the TV and just glued to it. So I think Princess and the Frog is a hit. We'll see if we can go down uh, Tiana's Bayou Adventure. Rest in peace, Splash Mountain. I'll probably still call it Splash Mountain. I'm sure a lot of people do. Um, Tiana's Splash Mountain. Maybe that's what I need to call it. Um, so Beauty and the Beast, a winner. Princess and the Frog, so far, I think that's a winner too. We've watched Cinderella, and funny enough, my mom likes to say that this is my favorite movie growing up. I think this is one of maybe one Disney movies that we had growing up, and it's all we had, so I watched it a bunch. But also, my wife loves Gus Gus the mouse. Um, so you know, just got to culture the kids. Um, so hopefully, Cinderella, Prince Charming's Carousel, Cinderella's Castle. They're reference to this in the park. Aladdin. Um, the kids love the Cave of Wonders, but that's really all they want to watch, and then they're kind of over it. So need to reintroduce Aladdin. There's Aladdin's magic carpets. Some other things. Sword in the Stone. We tried that tonight. They're kind of into it. I mean, I think it's hard for them to get into any of these movies without watching it a couple times. So Sword in the Stone, Peter Pan. We watched Peter Pan the other night. They loved the Peter Pan's flight attraction. Um, and something that my oldest has done, this is kind of a tangent, is one night we were laying in bed and just I think I was just trying to he may have been mad about something. I was trying to get him just regulated, calm again. I pulled up the Disney World map, pulled up Magic Kingdom, and it's got all the wait times. And he's asking, "What's this number? What's this 65? What's this 15?" We clicked on it. We looked at it. We talked about, "Oh, remember when we rode this?" Or, "Ooh, you're tall enough to ride this time." So we went back through this and we talked about Peter Pan's flight and how much he enjoyed that. So we got to watch the movie, right? Um, Robin Hood. I don't know. I don't know that this one's represented in the parks, but it's it's got that same um just kind of nostalgic vibe that some of these other movies, Peter Pan, Sword in the Stone, um, Cinderella have. So I just want to throw that in there. My wife is like, "Ooh, Robin Hood." I was like, "Oh, that's next." Um, and Tangled. That's kind of the other one that I've been thinking about. Not sure if the boys will like it, but we'll give it a shot. And there's that cool Tangled Tower um, in the back of New Fantasyland. Although New Fantasyland is, I don't know. I'm trying to remember when it opened quite a while ago. Um, so try, we're just trying to branch out. And I am absolutely using Disney World as an excuse to motivate my kids, add some variety to what they're eating, add some variety to the movies they watch. So far, it's working a little bit, and we're going to continue working on it. Um, I'm I'm not ashamed to say I'll use any methods necessary. Disney World being a big one. So, um, it's it's taking a little bit of work, but kids are a little bit of work, and it's really fun getting to see them get excited and see them enjoy things like movies, see them learn to enjoy new foods, new experiences, and just see the excitement, the build up as I mean, we're still several months away, but as we get there. So really looking forward to it. What do you think? You think I'm going to be successful? You think my kids are going to have some new favorite movies over the next few weeks and months? I hope so. Hope they try some new things for lunch and dinner too. Let me know what you think of this. Am I crazy? Probably, but I don't mind. Do you think it'll work? I've got a very small sample size that says I think it will, but let me know what you think. You can email us podcast at themouseandmen.com. You can also find us online, themouseandmen.com, or find us on social media at the mouse and men. Um, Again, this is exciting. It's exciting to get them excited. A little bit of uh, working, little working motivation. Um, but next week, next week, I think I want to talk about clothing in the parks. I've been thinking about this lately, and we're going to address some of that. But until then, just want to remind you, you don't want to grow up too fast, and you got to keep exploring.